I'm going to be replacing the caulk along here, kind of this expansion joint around the coping to the deck. If yours is cracked or discolored or anything like that, you might want to think about replacing it. Mine was cracked. I can show you some pictures here. It's also separated, so you don't want water to get in there and get behind and start damaging the backside of the pool. So I've already got it pulled off, but I'll go through the steps of doing it. I put new backing in here. All the other ones were a little bit old, and I'm going to put some, then I'm going to start caulking. There's a couple different brands you can get. I'll put them in the description. This is Tremco. They call it their Vulkem series. I've seen Sikaflex. From what I've seen, the Vulkem seems to be a little bit thinner. Spreads are all self-leveling. It seems a little bit easier. I've used it before. I'm sure they all work, but I've used it, and it worked for me. So that's good. I like this Vulkem because it comes with different colors. I think that the Sikaflex does as well. So you just kind of pick the one that's already there, or similar to your coping. So I'm gonna show you how to pull out the old, prepare the new, because like anything in home improvement, the preparation step is a big thing. So cleaning this off so there's a nice surface for the caulk to hold on to, and then put it in the room.
So you can see here my caulk is it's kind of dirty. It's coming apart. It's separating from the edges. One side, both sides, you can see it's moving around here, so it's not providing any protection from rain or anything that gets in there. And especially during winter, when it's winterized, it could leak behind there and then freeze and melt and freeze, and it could damage the backside along with it, just any other problems. So you see I got quite a big, it's a decent sized pool, but when you look at the perimeter, it's a lot. It's a couple 100 feet that I need to do. So you can see how it's most places it's separated like that, and it's dirty. It looks like when it was installed, there was some moisture underneath, so it kind of got some algae or darkened or just over time. So this is why I'm removing it, and I'm gonna put in a new caulk or expansion joint here, just to try to clean this up and hopefully help out. So here's the tools you're going to use. I mentioned I'm using this Vulkem 45 SSL. This is made for, they specifically say pools. You can pick different colors. You can read the instructions in there. It's pretty simple. You're going to need, if you don't have one, it's the larger caulk gun. It's not the regular size one. I had knee pads because I'm doing a lot, and then I like scraping. And so I got a couple different types of scraping. You don't want to use a sharp razor blade because you're going to be scraping against the concrete. So just get some used one. I used to have a couple of these around, so you can see just enough where it can kind of cut it. It's obviously not that hard, and then you're going to be going back and scraping the concrete again just to try to get off any remnants before you put the new ones in there. So I started off, cutting it. You may need to do that if yours is in pretty good shape. Mine's a little bit, or it's kind of a mess here, and it's separated, so it wasn't too bad. Ended up not needing the razor blade most of the time. So you're just trying to find a place, kind of cut it. Found that's the easiest, just to have a starting point. You can actually see there's moisture underneath there, so it was obviously leaking under there as well, and you can see how dirty it is. So mine, I was able to, I cut it, I pre-cut it, and now I'm just kind of pulling it out a little bit and just kind of looking at it. You can see that's the backer board, or the backer, the foam that's underneath. I'm going to be replacing most of that as well. I had it in some places, other places it wasn't. So mine, you can see that's about the bottom one should be about the thickness. The one at the top was much too thick, so there wasn't enough of that backer rod in there. So there was it's kind of a waste to put in that much. So you want to have about somewhere between a 1/4 and a 1/2 inch gap from the top of that foam to the edge there, and so that's what the manufacturer recommends. It goes down the sides a little bit more, and that's fine, but it's just that middle part, the most narrow part, where you kind of measure that. And obviously, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see mine was so separated. I found out I could save quite a bit of time, and I actually was able to pull it off like this. Again, depending on the state of yours, you may be able to. Mine was kind of stuck in a couple places, but overall, it was pretty easy, and it reduced the time quite a bit, just being able to pull it up like this. It gets stuck around a couple places, so maybe like little corners, where I have those expansion joints in the concrete, those plastic pieces. It gets stuck there, and I had to trim it a little bit. But overall, it made it really easy. That I didn't have to be on my knees the whole time trying to cut this thing. But again, if yours is pretty solidly connected, you're going to have to cut it. Otherwise, you may be able to pull it like this and maybe just kind of go back and trim it a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm trimming off the excess that kind of went over the edge. I also have dirt that was on here and just other portions, so that's really what I'm doing. So that, like in everything, the preparation is what helps it the most. I think if you leave any dirt or any old caulking on there, it's not going to be, the new one's not going to be able to attach as well. It doesn't have to be perfect; it can hold against the original caulking. So I'm using a couple of different tools. You're just trying to scrape it off. And what I found was the easiest, I did this a little bit just to kind of get the major areas, but I really just left it overnight to dry out because it was wet and the dirt was on there. So I tried a couple of different tools here. You can just, depending on the amount of like dirt or whatever else you have in here, wire brush. I have the wire brush on the drill. So again, I was just loosening it up, and then I left it to dry overnight to let that, all the moisture and everything get out of it. It made it a lot easier to clean up, and then obviously vacuum it up. Put my fingers on each side just to kind of hold up the, get a little bit better suction to get it out. I didn't have to make this perfect, but I'm just, again, just cleaning up as much as I can before I lay the other caulking so it has a good place to attach to. So there's kind of a show here where it's definitely too far down into the gap, and so I'm going to be putting the foam backer here. And this is, so you can get the size you want. I got this 1/2 inch because that was about the general size, and this is just worked perfectly for what I had. And so there looks like some of them, the places, this is what they did. So you just gotta kind of measure it out here and then put it in there. This one has actually a hole in the bottom, or just kind of, I guess, where it goes back. And so it's best to fill those up. So when you're going and actually pushing the caulk in there, it'll find any holes, anything that's not real tiny holes because it's pretty thick, but anything over a certain size, you want to attach that or block up those holes. And this is after the next day, so I let it dry off, and then I went back with a wire brush. And so I'm doing is just cleaning off that inside edge on both sides. So this was quite a bit of manual work here. So I'm going through, and you can see dirt and other pieces coming out. So I'm doing this, clearing this off, so I have a nice surface for the caulk to be on. You could try blowing it out, anything like that. I just didn't want to make a mess in the pool. So I went all around here and got it all cleaned off and ready to do the caulking. You see there was a couple of those backer rods that were already in there. I took those out and just replaced the whole thing. So here I am going a larger area. What I found was easier is just to kind of put it in and then find a good tool. So this actually, the razor blade without the razor obviously out, was just the perfect thickness where I could push it down without puncturing it. So I found just laying it in there first and then going back with the razor was the best way to get it set in there and just get it down just to the right level. So that's what I'm doing here. After I hand put it in there, just go back and tamp it down and push it down a little bit to the right level.
All right, so make sure the level is correct. It's a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. Mine's about a 1/4 inch since I put this new in there. And just like pretty much any caulk, you want a pretty good size line, or you're going to be spending all day out here. So this is the same like regular caulk. Puncture it in here. All right, just reminded me. Have a paper towel close. All right, take 2 now with some actual paper. So this stuff is not water soluble, but you don't want it just for cleaning up so you don't get it everywhere. It's really just, you're just trying to fill it up. I wouldn't try to go all the way to the top right away, just because it's you might overflow it. Just kind of work it in, and you can always go back. Make sure this is the right level, and I dripped it already. So I'm just kind of letting it go in here and settle. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and fill it up a little bit after it kind of levels itself out. Because if you overflow the edge a little bit, it's going to sink, but then it's still going to be there on the edge. So you want to not overfill it. There's going to be areas as well where it kind of sinks in, where there's a hole or whatever it is. You don't have to try to fill those out completely as well. You can always come back. This stuff settles pretty good. You can see here it's a little bit higher than this side, so I'm going to go back and fill this in a little bit. This actually looks like it's not It's kind of crooked here. It's actually a little bit from the old caulking. I'm going to leave that in because once this dries and starts tinting, that will not be visible. Yeah. Thinness is, it's a little bit thicker than normal caulk. Actually, sorry, a little bit thinner. So it kind of settles really well. It just takes a little bit of practice. See, I'm not like I do this very often, so I'm just trying to remember from the last time I did it as well. How fast I need to go and where to top it off. Again, I can see little low spots every once in a while. I'm not going to mess with them just because it's easier. Except to come back after it's settled a little bit. Just a couple things you might have to deal with. You can see there's just a bubble here. Sometimes they'll pop themselves. I can just use that point and just kind of poke it. You see it's self-leveling, so it'll slowly level itself out. Now, there's some small ones here, but mess with those. It's already kind of going down a little bit. I made a little bit of mess here. For some reason, it's not too bad. You can clean it up. I think once it dries, you can really worried about it. It's too much of a mess. You can scrape it. Most of that it's gonna get dirty anyway, so it's fine. One thing I like to do is kind of overfill it just a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but there's just a little bit of a bulge under because there's enough surface tension. I feel like that helps kind of hold it into place instead of just leveling it underneath. Here's some area where it's found some little gap in there and it sunk in, so I'm gonna probably try a little bit more here just to see if I can fill it in. Otherwise, I'm gonna wait till it skins over a little bit so that that gap is kind of sealed off, and then I can go back and finish this off. So I finished doing it. It took me about an hour. It's not too bad. It's all around. Got most of the low spots filled out. There's a couple places where it's still kind of leaking through, finding a little gap. So I'm just actually gonna leave that for another hour or so, let it skim over, and then go back and top it off. So some places like hard to really see it. I'd be a little bit picky where it's actually going into the little drainage or the expansion. Just a small little indentation there. I can go fill that up. And I have another one right here, right next to it. But overall, all filled in pretty good. A couple places where I made a little bit of a mess, but I'm gonna clean it up. So looks like it's all done. Hopefully this lasts several years like it's supposed to. I can enjoy the pool.